Welcome back to Fak'd TV News and Unorthodox Sales. This is Gregory Higgins, and you are turned on and into the only place where you can find the real fake news that matters today, and also find the newest and most innovative products of this century. And today I'll bring you stories on how the United States has won the constipation competition of the world. America's loneliness epidemic, how the current entertainment overload is affecting us, and the future of pizza delivery. And with us tonight is my anchor man,
Jeff Semperman, back again with advice on how to choose the appropriate prom dress, save yourself from school shootings, the newest, most effective, and inexpensive contract killing service ever, and how cooking in brick ovens can cause brain damage.
And I'll open up with our first story. We hear frustration from many viewers about how the Trump administration has been unilaterally pulling out of treaties and international agreements, but not the particular ones that the people want. Citizens are upset that treaties they don't like are being ignored and continue to let other countries take advantage of America due to the failures and poor negotiating abilities of past U.S. leaders. But that all may be changing very soon. A recently leaked White House memo shows that the administration is listening to the public and plans to address this source of discontent. According to the memo, in cooperation with Fox TV network, the administration will be sponsoring a new reality TV show, The Advisor, in which contestants will compete to win the opportunity to choose which international treaty of agreement they want America to pull out of next. Trade deals, arms limitation deals, the Geneva Convention, or whatever international agreement you think was a mistake. Here's your chance to make your case for why we should tear it up, in addition to arguing reasons for why their least favorite treaty should be trashed. Contestants will compete in physical challenges such as obstacle courses, as well as competing in talent competitions. To assure that only a strong and charismatic advisor is selected, we'll keep you posted on details. And the White House is expecting to soon post a list of international treaties and agreements to help potential contestants pick a cause to champion. So if you want the opportunity to become a TV star while competing to make your mark on history and making America great again, start training now!
That sounds like a great opportunity.
Well, if you're very enthusiastic about it, it's a great opportunity. Otherwise, it's a dud.
I noticed they didn't extend, an offer for this to Fak'd TV. It seems like a little favoritism there in selecting the network.
I like that. Jeff, you got a very inoffensive fashion story for us.
As our viewers are aware, fashion choices have recently become a potential minefield for those who want to avoid accusations of cultural appropriation. In a recent case, graduating Utah senior Keziah Dome received a flood of condemnation online for posting photos taken while wearing a Chinese-style prom dress, although she is not Chinese. In other cases, white women have been told that wearing their hair in dreadlocks or wearing dangly hoop earrings are inappropriate and culturally insensitive. Well, Fak'd TV News Laboratories have teamed up with the 23andMe DNA testing service to provide guidance for those looking to wear only fashions that they are culturally entitled to. This new service will combine the latest DNA testing to trace your ancestry and cross-reference that with a database of acceptable fashions developed by a top team of Sartoro ethnologists. No longer will you be in the dark as to whether or not your fashion choices are unwittingly expressing support for white privilege, colonialism, and the pillaging of the heritage of traditionally disadvantaged cultures. Once your DNA has been analyzed, the service will allow you to check any proposed outfit and determine whether it is a valid choice given your ethnic heritage. Service will even provide a certificate for any particular outfit sent to your smartphone or other mobile device, ready to show any accusers that you are genetically entitled to wear that fashion.
Yes, you are. I guess that's very interesting.
I think it'll save a lot of disagreement and unnecessary ill will.
Yeah. Right, to show up at prom and everybody's taking pictures of you and posting all nasty comments on the Facebook, and then it's not fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to relieve myself right now. Okay. The current opioid epidemic has turned our great ununited states into not only into the most highly opioid addicted country in the world, but also into the most constipated country in the world. Isn't it true that we all have hope for a great tomorrow, but for those poor sufferers of severe constipation, a great tomorrow may never come? Just knowing or not knowing if they will be capable of relieving themselves of the great mass and heavy burden they are carrying around is holding them back from fully enjoying all that life has to offer. All of our American citizens are entitled to have a bright tomorrow, all that is, except for those poor citizens suffering from severe opioid-induced constipation. Life is rough enough, but having to be holding in all this and not being able to let go and get relief is an American crisis. We at Fak'd TV News want you to know of the great amount of empathy and sympathy we have for all these suffering people. You most likely don't know this, but laxative manufacturers across the country have been celebrating along with the opioid manufacturers. And we here at Fak'd TV News are doing all we can to help our constipated American citizens. We have gone through the trouble to contact the opioid and laxative manufacturers to get them to join forces and to manufacture a new drug that will soon be available called Opilax. That's right. Our scientists at Fak'd TV News Laboratories have submitted their very own personal ideas with no benefit to themselves. What we are interested in here is helping you, all of our suffering opioid-addicted Americans, to have a bright and new relieved tomorrow. And with help of Opilax and Fak'd TV News Laboratories, all of those chronic pain sufferers won't have to carry the massive load and extra stress of constipation around with them another day. I got that point across, I think.
I think you did.
I tried very hard at doing it.
Yeah, that's should be a relief to many who suffer from opioid-induced constipation.
You have a new, I think it's a way of saving children with the backpacks or something in schools,
yes.
From school shootings?
With school shootings much in the news, some manufacturers of ballistic armor have capitalized on the fear by offering bullet-resistant backpacks for concerned parents to equip their children to better survive a mass shooting incident. Students at one school in Pennsylvania even received ballistic shields as an 8th grade graduation present. However, some gun enthusiasts have pointed out that these backpacks and shield inserts are too passive and simply allow the attacker to keep shooting until they manage to score a hit. In response, NRA Representative Dana Lash has announced that the NRA, in coordination with several gun manufacturers, is developing a backpack that can actually shoot back at an attacker. The prototype includes a robotic pistol and a control module mounted to a self-deploying tripod that activates when gunfire is detected in the vicinity. Once activated, the device sends a notification to the parent and opens a smartphone application that allows the parent to remotely aim and fire the gun using their smartphone. This remote technology is similar to that previously employed for remote control hunting websites, such as liveshot.com, which offered lazy hunters the opportunity to gun down hapless animals on a Texas ranch from the comfort of their armchair. The NRA hopes that this new technology will help save lives by engaging school shooters after they've only had the opportunity to kill a few victims, arguing that the best defense is a good offense. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And if the good guy can't be there in person, allowing them to operate the gun by remote control is just common sense, Lash said. Critics worry that the introduction of more guns into schools, and particularly remotely operated guns, creates greater risk than the supposed benefits. But the NRA dismisses such critics as evil liberals trying to disarm America, and points out that the drafters of the Second Amendment protecting the right of the people to keep and bear arms did not write any limitation suggesting that the arms had to be the same location as the person shooting them. Technology to the rescue once again.
A parent-controlled module in the backpack. That means we'll be able to keep track of them children at all times. I guess know when they're cutting class too.
It perhaps could be, although at this point it's only triggered in response to gunfire, so the parents can track where the students are at that time.
Keep track of what they're doing if they're in trouble and stuff like that. You know, there's little kids getting in trouble around here and there. Anyway, I got another story. I got another story for us. Okay, we got a lot of stories, and this is not it's going to end loneliness forever. Sociologists report that loneliness is at epidemic levels in the United States and is competing with obesity and smoking for the number one health risk. Through the extensive use of the internet and social media, personal and immediate contact with other people has largely become a thing of the past. In looking for ways to deal with this silent epidemic, one group of researchers believe that the answer lies in managing people's expectations, which may be more effective than trying to change their habits. The researchers note that when reclusive individuals are encouraged to interact with others in person, they suffer increased annoyance, as it is more difficult for individuals to hide their annoying traits in person than when on social media. And social media also gives them the ability to present themselves in a way that they will always be viewed at the right angle, in the right light, with the right background, wearing the right clothes and makeup, while in the appropriate mood for the present situation. But researchers point out that once people overcome the expectation that they should spend time sharing the same actual physical space as others, they have a more positive outlook on their solitude and realize that they can function more happily and effective on their own. Even procreation now no longer requires distasteful and unhygienic personal contact, since the use of in vitro fertilization overcomes the previous need for close, intimate contact. In time, the process of having to develop relationships with other people outside of the workplace may become completely eliminated. We will soon all be using computers and virtual reality for interaction with artificial friends and family to eliminate loneliness, allowing individuals to be the person they want to be and minimize the extent to which they have to conform themselves to expectations of others. Researchers predict a future where freedom and individual expression will result in unprecedented levels of individual happiness. And when you're living in your own world, you're always a success. You're never a failure. That's the great thing about it.
Yeah, studies like that always make me wonder how many social invitations these researchers get invited to, and whether they're just trying to skew their research to support their sort of, known social ineptness.
That's a good point, Jeff. I'm glad you think of these things. I would never thought of that myself. But, that makes total sense, and you're going to give us an idea on how to make money in the future very soon, aren't you?
Yeah, this, not quite.
No?
More of a pest removal service. A new and ingenious idea for discount contract killing is being tested. Through drone and overnight delivered packages, you can now eliminate the competition, your enemies, annoying neighbors, dishonest salesmen, overcharging rip-off car mechanics, or any other person you decide you don't like. Completely eliminating your unwanted resentments can now be done quickly and easily. the Onoko way through our brand new resentment exploding package delivery system. That's right, you can now completely eliminate those unwanted in-laws, the so-called friends who never repay those desperately needed loans, whoever else you find to be totally annoying. That's right, you can do it now the Onoko way through our newly developed and tested exploding resentment package delivery system. For the low introductory price of $395, you can now completely eliminate the competition, those persons who have become so detrimental to living a life of peace and serenity. Our delivery drones use the latest GPS navigation and facial recognition software to identify the person you want to remove from your life. Just enter their address and upload photos when you order, and your drone will be programmed and released within easy striking distance. The standard service is currently only available in New England, but we hope to soon be expanding our service to neighboring states, and our premium service is currently available anywhere in these ununited states. The best part of the Onoko system is that you will never be tied directly to any of the delivered packages. Just call the Onoko offices directly with your credit card or checking account numbers, and your packages can be delivered within 24 hours. So make that call today and live a life of peace and serenity overnight.
That's what I need. We all need peace and serenity.
If you've got a problem, eliminate it.
I hope some people will be calling in and we'll be able to make some sales on that product.
No problem.
Get things moving on the fast track over here. We all have been seeing in recent news broadcasts that people are calling the authorities to report things that they find intolerable and upsetting, such as restaurant staff and customers conversing in Spanish, black men waiting in a coffee shop, or using a barbecue grill in a public park. In other cases, fearful callers report a person not in uniform openly carrying a firearm. Unfortunately, the responding police often have to inform the disappointed caller that such activities are legal, and police representatives complain that the number of such calls has grown to such an extent that responding to them is impeding the ability to do their job. Fak'd TV News Laboratories are in the process of developing a solution to this problem and expect that it will soon be released to the public for beta testing. Our new trigger warning app allows users to report the behaviors of other ethnic groups that they don't approve of and consolidates these reports into a warning so they can alert others to steer clear of that particular location and avoid being exposed to the offensive behaviors. For example, users can report locations where people are speaking in some weird language, and the app will warn others who have selected that particular trigger so that they can avoid the offensive location and stay safely in areas where all people are speaking American. Users can program the app with a personal list of offensive incidents or take advantage of the app's active learning mode, in which the user simply aims the camera of the device at anything they find offensive, and the app's artificial intelligence categorizes the offensive behavior using an interactive menu. With a sufficient number of users, the app will help guide users to avoid stressful encounters with personal behaviors that they do not approve of. No longer will you be suddenly confronted with people who refuse to speak American, homosexuals showing affection in public, black people enjoying public activities that would be normal if white people were doing them, and any other number of potentially distressing incidents. Once your list of personal offense triggers is programmed, the app will use crowdsourcing to warn you away from areas where you might have to witness such behaviors, reducing stress and helping you to lead a happier and more carefree life is the American way. God bless America.
For every problem, whether real or perceived, there's technology that can find a solution.
All the time. There always is. And we got more offensive news on the way with you, Jeff.
Yes. Now, while that trigger warning app sounds great, we realize that it isn't for everyone. We know that some people, and perhaps our viewers in particular, enjoy the adrenaline rush of being confronted with something that deeply angers their sensibilities and threatens their ideal of how the country is intended to be. Well, we have you covered with our Eternal Vigilance app, which is in the final stages of testing. This app also relies on a user-defined database of offensive events, which can be manually input through an interactive menu or developed through a learning process by rating news stories presented. Once you've started defining what stories you find aggravating, the app searches for current stories on that topic and sends notifications at regular intervals to provide you with a constant sense that everything you value and hold dear is under attack by those who are trying to destroy America by pushing their partisan agenda. Whichever side of the political spectrum you may be on, our app can find biased, one-sided stories to feed your anger on an ongoing basis. Let's face it. Part of the modern American experience is to feel victimized, as if your values and interests are under constant threat of being trampled. With this app, your victim status will be continually validated, and your level of indignation and injustice can be maintained even when local news sources fail to supply enough upsetting stories. This app will save you from falling into the haze of complacency that they are hoping will lull you into slacking off on defending your real American values.
Slacking off.
Complacency. That's
Victims.
That's
are
the
in a
first step
haze.
towards losing it all.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to lose that. What we want to do is gain, and I've got a lot over here to talk about.
Another technology story.
Recent technology. The Interbook. What the heck is an Interbook? Recent technology, the internet, Facebook, and Apple have created what amounts to be an entertainment overload. There's just simply too much entertainment to keep us entertained. How are we all supposed to work and keep this country running and keep up with the great entertainment, talented people, and cute animal antics that are coming in through our cell phones? If you are watching this now, this should be the #1 piece of entertainment you should be turned on and into, because we at Fak'd TV News have all the facts that you really need to hear. We have the news that's currently driving our country and our planet. The fact is that we are being bombarded by so much fantastic entertainment that we just don't care anymore. Being entertained has become a numbing out process instead of an uplifting process. That's right. People just don't care anymore. That's part of the reason why yoga has become so popular. People need relief and escape from the overwhelming overload of entertainment and information. Then you may ask yourself, maybe sitting on my head will help me calm the storm of frustration that's running inside my brain. Nope, that's not going to do it. Remember gravity? When you do a headstand, gravity causes all that accumulated excess entertainment in your body to settle down into your head and actually makes the problem worse. But relief is in sight. We have finally been authorized to announce an upcoming project that has been under top secret development at Fak'd TV News. We will soon be offering the Paleo channel, following the same philosophy as the Paleo diet. The Paleo channel will base its programming on the entertainment that our ancestors evolved with and to which our brains are best adapted. The channel will exclusively feature programming designed by top paleoanthropologists, including such prehistoric favorites as watching clouds, watching trees and bushes move in the wind, watching wildlife, and listening to elders telling stories by the campfire. The new Paleo channel will offer programming based on the most up-to-date research on the entertainment our brains were involved for, and is expected to be at the front of a growing future trend in entertainment. Stay tuned to Fak'd TV News for future details so that you can be among the first to watch this timeless, state-of-the-art entertainment option. I like putting some emphasis on the last word. I guess you might have noticed that.
Yes. Yeah. Paleo channel. We could probably work some elements of the Paleo channel into Fak'd TV News. Put a fake campfire up front. You and me can, dress in furs and stuff.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Paleo.
Paleo.
Yeah. I've been saying this wrong all the time.
Mike would make a good cave person.
What's the difference? Tomato. Yeah, he's a great cave kind of guy. He would fit right in there.
I like that. Sort of a fake campfire, the thing shooting over us. Put some cave paintings over on the backdrop. I think we should try that. Give
but
people
until
a sneak
then,
preview.
Until then, Jeff, you've got a new disease that you're going to tell us about.
This may sound totally unbelievable, but a recent neurological study has uncovered evidence of a disease that may have been undiagnosed and undetected for ages. Little did we or anybody know that brick ovens that have been popular for ages have been causing a terrible amount of harm to a great many people and relationships. You may yourself have noticed that while talking with many people, on average, they have a terrible amount of trouble making sense, coming up with the right words to say, or finishing sentences. Problem with them, although it's gone undetected for many years, is not their fault. Fault lies deep within the great many brick ovens that have been cooking foods across the country and around the world for aeons. A researcher at our Fak'd TV News laboratories has recently found a process that happens to food that's cooked within brick ovens. It's been discovered. Microscopic particles of brick become transferred into the food while it's being cooked. Then, when eaten and digested by men, they reorganize themselves in a man's brain where they're actually reconstructed into tiny brick walls. These tiny brick walls are capable of stopping the victim from completing thoughts or sentences, or even making sense at all. It's also been reported this terrible disease mainly affects men above the age of 30. However, preliminary research suggests it's possible that the adverse impacts on cognitive ability may start to affect men at earlier ages. So, ladies, if you have a man in your life that has problems coming up with the right words to say, it's very possible that he is suffering from a mild or even severe case of Bricktospazmosis. Bricktospazmosis can become a very serious and very dangerous relationship killer because once a man has got it, he's got it bad. Having a serious and deep, meaningful conversation with a man that's been stricken by Bricktospazmosis may and will become completely useless. But there is hope, because our source here at Fak'd TV News Laboratories reports there is actually a treatment that appears to counteract the effects of the brick particles. Preliminary research has found the best thing that can be done in treating a case of Bricktospazmosis is to leave your man alone in front of the television with a lot of beer and a remote control. Feed him at regular intervals and leave him alone. The combination of high-frequency electromagnetic waves emanating from the TV and the alcohol in the beer will eventually dissolve these microscopic brick walls that have built themselves inside his brain. With lots of hope, love, TV, and beer, he may have the chance to become almost normal again. Possible you may even eventually have a real conversation with him. Though it may not be very deep and meaningful at first, it's a start. And you're already off to a great start by being tuned on and into Fak'd TV News, where the disease and the cure have been identified. Bricktospazmosis. It's an awful, debilitating disease.
That's about all I come up with when I'm trying to talk with women.
Now, I said Bricktospazmosis enough times. Surely you want a few chances to let it roll off your tongue.
Bricktospazmosis.
Yes.
It's a debilitating disease.
And pizza is cooked in, what is cooked in brick ovens is pizza, which
lead us into our next story. Our assistants Due to the imminent space race, there are many who want to be the first to explore and eventually colonize the moon and the planet Mars. Even corporations outside the aerospace industry are looking for ways that they can cash in on these potential new markets. Fak'd TV news investigators have found that Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, and Little Caesars are all competing and exploiting the race for their positions in the production and delivery of pizza in space. Plans are now in progress by these pizza giants to build pizza manufacturing space stations. A Pizza Hut internal memorandum obtained by our investigator explains that there is no place in space that we can't deliver a pizza to, and we're on the move now to get this done. There is also evidence suggesting that solar-powered GPS-guided pizza delivery flying drone saucers should be ready to go by the end of this year. It is believed by these pizza chains that nobody in the known universe should be without pizza. So no matter what end of the galaxy they choose to travel to, the biggest possible problem expected in the race is to figure out how to manufacture a zero-gravity pizza dough. How can you top that?
With black
olives and anchovies! Why not? Well, that's it for our show. This is Gregory Higgins, and I'd like to thank you for taking your time to watch our news tonight. So you guys at home, ladies and children of all ages, sizes, and colors and ethnicities, when the story is too good to wait for the facts, Fak'd TV News and Unorthodox Sales brings you the news as we see fit. May you all enjoy a good, clean life, and remember to be honest to the spirit that lives within you. Have a great day and a good night, and until next time. And Jeff, could you say good night to our viewers?
Good night, viewers everywhere.
All righty then.